Good evening. If you've been following this series so far, you'll know that we've been covering the basics of EKGs. We started in episode 1 with how to identify the basic parts and components of EKG paper and a rhythm. Then, in part 2, we went over the sinus rhythms. Now, in part 3, we start to venture into the territory of what I call when the heart goes wrong. Today we will be covering ventricular rhythms.
Ninja paramedic guy, ninja paramedic guy, ninja paramedic guy. Medics rule. Ninja paramedic guy.
Accidents are the cause of trauma.
Ninja paramedic guy. Ninja
Rescue 804 riding on scene.
Ninja paramedic guy.
As I mentioned in the last episode, you can calculate the rate of a rhythm by counting the number of boxes between each QRS complex. Now, if you are in a hurry and don't have time to sit and count individual boxes, one thing to keep in mind is that these hash marks are 3 seconds apart. If you have 2 of these and print out a 6-second strip of paper, all you have to do is count the number of beats you see and multiply by 10. On a 3-second strip, you multiply by 20. So, in this particular case, we have 2 beats on a 3-second strip, multiply that by 20, and we get a rate of 40. When looking at a ventricular rate, it is important to note that this is the last-ditch effort of the heart to try to maintain perfusion to the body. You'll notice that the P wave is completely missing from this rhythm due to the fact that the SA node has completely failed to fire. And the reason that the wave is wide and ugly is because the secondary pacemaker heart, the AV node, has also failed to fire. And the reason why it is wide and ugly is because now the actual ventricles of the heart have taken over pacing responsibilities for the entire heart. So, the characteristics of a ventricular rhythm are that there are no P waves and that the QRS complex is wide, greater than 3 boxes, or 0.12 seconds. A normal rate for a ventricular rhythm, and this is normal in quotation marks, is going to be between 20 and 40 beats per minute. Now, this 20 to 40 beats per minute is also known as an ideoventricular escape rhythm. So over here, the standard rate is going to be 20 to 40, and it can also be called an ideoventricular escape rhythm. Typically, this rate and this rhythm will be seen post-cardiac arrest and is not conducive to long-term survival. So if you see something that is this slow, you'll have to resort to something like pacing or atropine to try to speed up the heart. Now, if you'll notice, this next row, you'll see that it is also a ventricular rhythm. And if we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 beats multiplied by 20, and that would give us a rate of 80. So this would be classified as an accelerated ventricular rhythm. The rate for an accelerated ventricular rhythm is anywhere between 60 to 100 beats per minute, or what used to be the normal sinus range previously noted. There are varying sources, depending on which books you read, saying that this accelerated rate could possibly extend all the way down to a rate just over 40. However, for simplicity's sake, 60 to 100 is going to be considered accelerated. 20 to 40 is going to be ideoventricular escape. Now, if we move on down to this third level here, we'll notice that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 complete beats within this 3-second strip. So, that is going to be a rate of 140 beats per minute, which classifies this as a ventricular tachycardia. A ventricular tachycardia is classified as any rate with a ventricular rhythm over 100, or according to some textbooks, 120. However, for simplicity's sake, again, I'm going to go with a standard of anything over a rate of 100 is considered tachycardia. Now, an important thing to remember if you observe ventricular tachycardia, or any of these ventricular rhythms for that matter, is that you want to check to make sure that the patient has a pulse with this rhythm. If they do not have a pulse and they are in ventricular tachycardia, immediate defibrillation is advised. If they do not have a pulse and it's one of these other rhythms that are slower in the ventricular family, then it is advised that you resume CPR until you have a change in pulse. It is important to note that any rhythm that does not have a pulse and is not VTAC or VFib would be considered pulseless electrical activity. This means that the heart is trying to pump, but for some reason, the mechanical portion of the heart is not responding to the electrical portion. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Please join us next time when we'll be covering the junctional rhythms. And please tell your friends about this video, like, comment, share, and subscribe. And until next time, as always, see ya.